Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now. It is the weekend. You know what that means. Time to go ahead and answer your mailbag questions. Our subscribers, so you should be subscribed, go ahead and post their questions to our community page here on the channel, and these were the best ones. So Clifton says, what defensive free agents might we be able to snag at a discount once we get underneath the cap? So I want to make this very, very clear. The Eagles will get underneath the cap at the start of free agency March 17th, and they will have money to spend. Now, I don't know how much. It's not going to be, $1 billion. Just go and just throw at every single big name free agent. This won't be a crazy NFL free agency for Philadelphia, but they will have money to sign someone, and they will sign somebody. So, asking about cheap free agents, I'll give you, I'll give you four. Now, they are not necessarily that cheap, but they could be some options for Philadelphia from a defensive perspective. Malik Hooker, the safety from the Indianapolis Colts, I think could make sense from a Nick Sirianni and also a Gannon defensive coordinator standpoint. Of course, he was the secondary coach, the DB coach in Indianapolis, and now is the defensive coordinator in Philadelphia. He is a veteran. He's actually taken one pick after Derek Barnett in that draft a couple of years ago, and so if they are not comfortable with Mills being a safety, and then they're not very high on Kayvon Wallace, or perhaps even Rodney McLeod with the injuries he's had, perhaps Malik Hooker could make a lot of sense. B.J. Goodwin would be an option at linebacker. Philadelphia has taken a linebacker in free agency each of the past couple of years. They haven't been very good, but they have been signing linebackers in free agency, and Goodwin fits that mold of being a cheap special teams guy who fills a need and fills a hole. He's not necessarily going to be any sort of a guy you want to just put in as a starter. He's again a special teams guy, but they have signed linebackers. That's one I found that can make a lot of sense. AJ Bouye is the cornerback, one of the better ones in free agency. He met with Denver a couple of days ago. I think he'll be too expensive, but he could be an option if Philadelphia is not going to draft somebody early on in the rounds. They're going to need someone opposite of Darius Slay, and Bouye could be a decently priced veteran who could make some sense. How about that? And finally, Haason Reddick, who of course was the Temple Owl and played in Philadelphia, as Temple does in Lincoln Financial Field. He of course was the Arizona Cardinal who got the short end of the stick whenever they had to go ahead and sign J.J. Watt. Reddick, to me, makes sense. I mean, the Eagles could use a pass rusher opposite of Brandon Graham, and in addition to Josh Sweat. They might not keep Derek Barnett, but Reddick costs about $10 million per year, and so that's what's the one problem that would hold him back, because he's a little expensive. So Hooker, Goodwin, A.J. Bouye, Haason Reddick are all some names you could look for. Again, I don't know how much Philadelphia's going to have in cap space. We'll have cap space a question I saw. We'll have that here in a second, but I think they will sign somebody. It's a matter of just who they're going to be able to afford. Now, pin comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Name a free agent you want the Eagles to go ahead and sign. Any free agent, not even defensively, offensively, whatever you want. Name who it is. Let me know down below right now. All right, let's move on here to Chris, who says, what are your thoughts on taking an O-lineman in the first if we trade Brandon Brooks, and what do you think Brooks is currently worth in a trade? First off, I don't think the Eagles are going to trade Brandon Brooks. I think Philadelphia is very much a fan of Brandon Brooks. I think the team likes him. He's a great teammate. Him and Lane Johnson are like BFFs. They hold down the right side of the offensive line. The only way you would trade Brandon Brooks is if you just don't think he can ever get healthy again. But Brandon Brooks has been able to get healthy. He just had bad luck with the Achilles tear early on at the end of the year, or at the end of training camp last year. And he's not that expensive either. Like, Philadelphia's not giving him crazy money. He's not the highest paid right guard in the NFL. So I would keep him. Now, if you did trade Brandon Brooks, I would draft somebody, because I don't trust like Nate Erbig to go ahead and be the backup. There are plenty of options in the NFL draft, more so on the tackle side, but they could get somebody like, I'm trying to think, like Bama's Alex Leatherwood in the second round could make a lot of sense if they went ahead and traded Brooks, but I don't think they will, so I wouldn't worry about it. AJ DeBoss says, what's your favorite Eagles moment this year, including offseason of last year? Oh, wow. My favorite Eagles moment of let's do this. Favorite Eagles moment of 2020. There weren't a lot, because 2020 was very, very bad. I had a lot of fun the Sunday nighter against Dallas, because it was a game Philadelphia needed to win. Carson Wentz played very, very well in the second half, and that was kind of Travis Fulgham's real coming out party. He had a deep ball early on in the first half, a touchdown pass that essentially sealed it late on. Boston Scott played well. It was very much the backups playing well alongside Carson Wentz, and was a game that showed that Wentz still has a lot, or had a lot, because he's no longer an Eagle, to offer. So I remember that one. I like the Hurts win against the Saints, because it was one of those, you're not supposed to win. The Saints are the best team in the NFC, and Hurts balled out. Miles Sanders balled out, and I think gave you kind of a glimpse of what the Eagles are hoping to get out of Jalen Hurts, and that is a very accurate deep ball thrower who makes a lot of good throws inside the pocket, but can also run, creating opportunities for read options with Miles Sanders. So that's it. There's a lot more bad than good. Let's just say that. And the offseason to me wasn't that exciting either, because the draft, they didn't do a very good job. I like the Javon Hargrave signing, I guess, but other than that, it was a rough year overall for Eagle fans. What was your favorite moment? You have one from 2020? I know it was rough, but again, I say Sunday nighter at home against Dallas, and then the home win against the Saints. But if you have a better option, let me know what you guys think it was in 2021 or 2020 down below in the comments section. Now, we will be here for all the great moments in 2021, so make sure you guys are subscribed for this entire offseason, and of course the full coverage that we always do during the NFL season. Stay tuned for that, as we, in my opinion, I'm a little biased because we have the channel here, but we do a great job and keep you guys covered wall to wall here on Philadelphia Eagles Now, and so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news and rumors by hitting that subscribe button down below. All right, let's go over here to Tyler, who says, if you go offense in the first, where and which linebacker would you prefer to draft, if available? There are options at linebacker in the second and third round. So I'm assuming you're asking, if we don't take Micah Parsons at 6, which I don't think that they will. If they traded back, that's who I think they'd probably go ahead and take at like 11 or 12. Like someone moves up for a quarterback, you trade back, you take Parsons. It's the safe thing to do. But I agree. I think they're going to go offense at 6 overall, whether it's Pitts or wide receiver, hopefully wide receiver. But there are options in the later rounds. So Nick Bolton out of Missouri is kind of probably the third best linebacker in the draft. Zaven Collins is a small college Tulsa guy, but he, I think, could be a really good third or fourth round draft pick. Jabril Cox is a guy I've mocked to Philadelphia in my mock drafts from LSU. LSU's made some really good linebackers the past couple of years. He would make sense. And then I'll throw in one more here for kind of the later round area, Justin Hilliard out of Ohio State. All these are linebackers that I think Philadelphia could take a look at in the second or third round. They got 2 third-round draft picks, so maybe spend one on a linebacker and hopefully win in terms of lucking out on a guy who could be a starter for the next 10 years. Like, I can't even imagine the Eagle defense with a starting linebacker who we all were like, this is the guy for the next 10 years. We haven't had that since really Jeremiah Trotter, or maybe even D'Amico Ryans, but he was there for the short end of part of his career, and so I would like a linebacker, and I would like Parsons. I just want a wide receiver a little bit more. Let's see here. Before we keep going, I'm being told that Eagles hats are on sale right now, some over 60% off. Okay, link right now, I'm being told down below, chatsports.com/Eagles hat is the place to go. Ton of options. You're going to see a bunch rotate on your screen right now, but the link will have even more. They have fitted hats, they have snapbacks, they have trucker hats, they have the beanies. I mean, they have a ton of stuff, and a majority of them are on sale right now. You could also get the Super Bowl hat, which I actually own and rep pretty often. It's up in my closet right now, but you see that on your screen being rotated around there. They also have the shirt and hat combo, or the long sleeve and beanie combo for only $30. So a lot of them are on sale. Check out the link down below and pick up an official Philadelphia Eagles hat via Fanatics right now. Chatsports.com/Eagles hat is the place to go ahead and go for that one. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. Next question here comes from 76ers fans. Shout out to the Sixers, first place in the East. Can we get Kenny Golladay in free agency? You can. And we talked about that in a video like 2 days ago, as the news and rumor video, so check that one out. But I would rather draft a wide receiver. Like, if you're telling me we'll take Golladay and then not take a receiver at 6, I would rather draft a receiver at 6 because it's just way cheaper, right? Kenny Golladay is probably going to go ahead and cost you between $17 and $21 million a year. That's a lot. Like, that's Julio Jones' top wide receiver money. That's very, very expensive. So I'd rather just go ahead and draft somebody. I'd rather just take Devontae Smith or sign a guy like I'm blanking on his name right now, Jamar Chase at number 6 overall, and just not even worry about it. And then just hope that those guys on rookie deals, which is way cheaper than what you would pay Kenny Golladay, would go ahead and make sense overall. Again, I wouldn't mind Golladay and a receiver at 6. I just don't think you can pull that off, right? If you sign Golladay, then take a corner or a linebacker at 6. I don't think you need that many receivers, because I hopefully trust that guy like Jalen Reagor can go ahead and make a lot of sense. But Chase or Devontae Smith, I'm leaning a little more towards Jamar Chase because people are convincing me, but either one with me would be absolutely fantastic. What would you guys rather have? Sign Golladay or draft a wide receiver at 6? Type S down below for sign, or type D down below for draft. I want to see what you guys think down below right now in the comment section. Okay, final one here. We'll do one more. Addy B says, how much money are we over the cap now that we've restructured some deals and cut some players? So Philadelphia is currently $17.3 or $4 million over the cap as it stands today. Now, that can change, and again, some things this weekend can happen. Maybe on Monday, we're waiting on the Lane Johnson numbers because they've restructured that, but they haven't announced the numbers. And the Brandon Graham numbers, we talked about that on Monday, that they're going to do it, but they haven't officially named it yet. So I would go ahead and bet that Philadelphia will be underneath the cap by Wednesday, which, of course, March 17th will be the start of NFL free agency. So right now, they're still over, but they will go ahead and get under here very, very soon. So I don't have any worries about that. I do wonder how they're going to go ahead and sign people in free agency. And I think what you're going to see Philadelphia do, if they do sign some people, is it's going to be a very cheap deal this year, but a lot of guaranteed money in 2022, which of course we've talked about. Philadelphia is going to have like $80 or $90 million in 2022, and so you can backload contracts to start in 2022, really, but still guarantee the money. That way the player gets paid either way. So I would expect that to go ahead and happen, and they will probably restructure some more deals, and they might cut some more players. I mean, the Zach Ertz stuff, the Derek Barnett stuff, nothing's happened yet, but it's going to get crazy the next couple of days and weeks. So I'll end on this. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Philadelphia Eagles now, because I'm telling you, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, probably Thursday as well, next week are going to be nuts. And we're going to be wall-to-wall coverage here and get you guys as many videos as possible, updating you on what Philadelphia is thinking about doing, what Philadelphia ends up doing. And so make sure you guys are subscribed by hitting that bigger subscribe button down below. There you go. Hopefully I answered all your guys' questions here on this edition of Philadelphia Eagles Now. I wanted to jump in and hopefully give you guys the answers that you are looking for. We do this basically every single week, so if you missed, if I didn't get you to your question, I'll probably go ahead and put out another mailbag request and do those questions later on in the week. All right, also, again, for Philadelphia Eagles Now, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.